Prophet Muhammad. Obviously, they regard the Charlie Hebdo cartoonists to have impinged the honor of the Prophet Muhammad by putting out all these cartoons. So they're clearly saying that this is in revenge. They want to publicize this. They see this as a sort of terror spectacular that the media are going to talk about, and so they want to get this message out very, very clearly to all the bystanders that they realize are around, Wolf.
And Bob Baer, you see these terrorists in that black Citroen, they're driving full speed ahead. It's the police car that all of a sudden goes back in reverse and tries to escape. These guys clearly are not scared.
Well, exactly, Wolf. Well, first of all, look at the grouping on the windshield of that police car. These people have fired weapons before. They've been around them. They had just murdered 10 people. They're not afraid. And also, the fact that they were prepared for martyrdom is important. La Allah, ila Allah is the statement is, I'm ready to die and for Allah. And this makes these people particularly dangerous, understanding weapons, and ready to die, which make them a nightmare for all police forces.
Colonel Reese, what's your analysis of what we've seen?
Well, Wolf, what I found interesting is the one brother that's driving is the one that has more training than the other. The one brother comes around, and what happens is his weapon has jammed. It probably jammed during the executions in the magazine. He comes over to his brother and asks him to clear the weapon. He took the magazine out. The brother reaches in, removes the jam. Then he goes back in, takes the magazine out of his vest, and reloads, and they're ready to go again. So the guy driving's much better trained because of those issues, is what I see.
You know, and Paul, these two brothers, Saeed Qawashi and Sharif Qawashi, 34, 32 years old, respectively, they're making bold declarations there. They're not trying to run away. They're declaring victory, if you will.
They're declaring victory, and one has to recall that Al-Qaeda and other groups have been trying to hit the cartoonists in a big way for quite some time. In fact, ever since these cartoons were first published in the Danish media in 2005, there have been a string of plots to try and attack publications linked to the cartoons. Notably, in 2010, a plot by Al-Qaeda Central in Pakistan to target the Jyllands-Posten newspaper in Copenhagen. A Swedish cell were recruited in that. They wanted to kill up to 200 journalists in that plot. They've calculated for some time that by launching attacks against cartoonists, they'll get a lot of popularity in the global jihadist community. It'll be good for fundraising and recruits. And unfortunately, these images we're seeing right now are going to electrify these jihadists around the world, Wolf, and unfortunately encourage more of these kind of attacks.
Colonel Reese, these two terrorists seem better armed than the police officers there, right?
Yeah, Wolf, they are. Unfortunately, I mean, the guns they're carrying, it's a .308 caliber weapon. Folks here who deer hunt and elk hunt in the U.S., that's what they use. It's a big caliber weapon. It's actually bigger than U.S. troops carry in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's very powerful. When they make that right-hand turn, that's what I believe they're going down, then they stop again and then kill that police officer on the side of the street. And if you remember from the other video, as the gunners go back, they're pointing their fingers and saying the same thing they're saying now. So I think this is just it's a great video. It's a great video.
And Bob Baer, why will this be so powerful as far as propaganda for the terrorists?
Well, this was an assassination which will have a great political influence, and it's not a random bombing. I think even the fanatics look at 9/11 or the two bombing in London is just random slaughter. But this is more of a war, the war they would like to bring to the West. The fact that they used assault weapons, the fact that the targets were very specific by name, and that two police officers were among the victims. It, for them, looks like a righteous struggle, which will encourage other, as Paul said, jihadists around the world. I mean, but what do the police do about this? This is what worries me is, you know, Colonel Reese's forces could take on an assault like this, but the average policeman is not prepared to go to war in a major city.
Well, that's a good point. Tom Fuentes, what do you say about that?
No, that's exactly true. And we hear so much in this country about the militarization of our police. We've seen an encounter here where every encounter until the actual hostage situations, the police were outgunned dramatically. You've seen pictures of the police on the street and the military on the street now. Even now you don't see the weaponry on the street.
I want all of you guys to stand by because this is a dramatic new video of what we see. We're going to continue to follow the breaking news of the new video of the gunmen, the two gunmen in Paris, Saeed Qawashi and Sharif Qawashi. We're also taking a closer look at some other new video talking about the increased security here in the United States. The new chairman of the Senate Homeland Security Committee, Senator Ron Johnson, he's standing by live. We have lots to discuss with him, including this new video.